What if I told you that most people who stay broke are not lazy? What if the real reason has almost nothing to do with intelligence, talent, or even hard work? Millions of people wake up early. They work long hours. They sacrifice weekends. They follow the rules they were taught. And yet, they remain broke, not struggling temporarily, not rebuilding after failure, but permanently stuck. Same bills, same stress, same fear, year after year. Here's the mystery. If hard work was enough, poverty would be rare. If education alone worked, student debt wouldn't be exploding. If motivation fixed everything, self-help books wouldn't keep selling the same promises. So why does the cycle repeat? Why do people escape poverty only to fall back into it? Why do raises feel smaller than inflation? Why does doing everything right still lead to anxiety? Today's video is not motivational fluff. It's not a get-rich-quick fantasy. And it's not here to blame you. Instead, we're going to uncover the hidden system built over centuries that quietly trains people to stay broke. And the most uncomfortable part? Most people unknowingly protect this system themselves. But to understand why, we have to go back long before modern jobs, banks, or even money as we know it. Origins. Before people were broke, thousands of years ago, the concept of being broke didn't exist. People lived in small communities. They hunted, farmed, traded skills. Value came from usefulness, not money. If you contributed, you survived. There were no credit scores, no rent, no monthly payments. But as societies grew, something changed. The first shift, ownership land became owned, not shared controlled. Kings, empires, and elites realized something powerful. Whoever controls resources controls people. Food, land, water, protection, these became centralized. If you didn't own land, you worked for those who did. And slowly, survival turned into dependence. The second shift. Money replaces skill. Money simplified trade but also abstracted value. Instead of asking, can you build? Can you grow? Can you heal? The system asked, how much do you have? This was efficient but dangerous. Because once survival depends on money, those who control money control life. Still, people weren't trapped yet. That came later. The rise, the industrial promise. Fast forward to the Industrial Revolution. Factories rose. Cities expanded. Machines replaced artisans. And a promise was sold. Work hard and you'll rise. For the first time, millions left farms and trades to become wage workers. The deal seemed fair. You sell time, you get paid money. Money. Safety, but this was the turning point. The time for money trap. Before this era, skill created independence. Now time became the commodity. You didn't own your output. You rented your hours. And unlike land or skill, time is limited. This single change created a permanent ceiling. If your income is tied only to hours worked, you can never outpace time. You can never scale. You can never escape dependency, but the system wasn't done yet. The breaking point. Education, debt, and the modern worker. As factories expanded, society needed compliant, predictable workers. Enter mass education. Schools didn't teach wealth creation. They taught obedience, routine, memorization, authority, acceptance. The goal wasn't freedom, it was efficiency. And it worked. Generations were trained to believe stability is safety, risk is dangerous, failure is shameful. Then came the next promise. Get educated, and you'll be secure. The debt shift. Education stopped being skill-based and became credential-based. Degrees replaced apprenticeships. Certificates replaced experience. And education became expensive. Students borrowed money before earning any. This flipped the power dynamic completely. A young adult now entered life, owing money. With fear of risk dependent on employment. Debt doesn't just cost money, it costs courage. A person with debt avoids entrepreneurship, avoids risk, avoids change, accepts bad conditions. Debt quietly trains obedience. And this is where many people break but don't realize it. Fallout. Why working hard makes IT worse at this stage. People do what they were told. They work harder. They hustle more hours. They take second jobs. They sacrifice health. But something strange happens. The harder they work, the more exhausted they become. And exhaustion kills. Creativity, long-term thinking, opportunity awareness. The system benefits from tired people. A tired mind doesn't question. A tired body doesn't rebel. Meanwhile, inflation eats savings. Housing prices rise. Healthcare costs explode. People blame themselves. I should work harder. I should be better with money. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Hard work inside a broken structure deepens the trap. Because effort without leverage only reinforces dependence. Failed fixes. Why advice doesn't work. You've heard the advice. Save more, budget better, stop buying coffee. Wake up earlier, but notice something. These solutions focus on behavior, not structure. Saving doesn't fix low income. Budgeting doesn't fix inflation. Discipline doesn't fix broken incentives. Even motivation fails. Why? Because motivation assumes freedom. Most people don't lack motivation. They lack margin, no time, no energy, no safety net. Advice without context becomes blame, and blame keeps people quiet. The modern parallel, same system, new clothes. Today's economy looks modern, but the pattern hasn't changed. Replace factories with offices. Replace chains with contracts. Replace overseers with algorithms. Gig work promises freedom but removes security. Social media promises wealth, but rewards attention, not value. Credit cards promise convenience but extract interest. Here's the shocking data. Most people can't afford a $500 emergency. Wages haven't matched productivity for decades. The cost of living rises faster than salaries. Wealth concentrates at the top. This is not accidental. Systems reward what they are designed to reward. And this one rewards ownership over labor, leverage over effort, over income. Most people were never taught this. The pattern, WHQYIT, keeps repeating. Every generation hears the same story. Work hard and you'll be fine. Every generation feels the same pressure. Why is it harder than promised? Because the rules changed, but the advice didn't. Those who escape usually do three things differently. 1. They stop trading only time for money. 2. They learn how systems work. 3. They shift from consumption to ownership. But here's the twist. The system doesn't stop you from learning this. It just never teaches it. Silence is the strongest form of control. The real reason most people stay broke. So why do most people stay broke? Not because they're lazy, not because they're stupid, not because they don't try. They stay broke because they were trained for survival, not leverage. They were taught rules for a game that no longer exists. They confuse security with safety. They never learned how money actually works, and once trapped, fear keeps them there. Fear of failure. Fear of judgment. Fear of instability. The system feeds on fear. 3 clear takeaways. Takeaway 1. Income is not wealth. If you only earn money, you are always one crisis away from broke. Wealth comes from ownership, leverage, and systems. Takeaway 2. Hard work without direction is a trap. Effort must be paired with strategy. Otherwise, you're strengthening the cage. Takeaway 3. Education must continue after school. If you stop learning how money, systems, and power work, you stay dependent on them. Final warning and open-ended thought. The most dangerous belief is not poverty. It's believing that struggle is normal. Ask yourself, if the system truly worked for everyone, why are so many exhausted? And if the rules never change, who benefits? Call to action, natural and non-salesy. If this video made you uncomfortable, that's a good sign. Discomfort is where awareness begins. If you want more deep, honest breakdowns like this, not motivation, but understanding, subscribe to the channel. Because once you see the system clearly, you can't unsee it. And that's where change really begins.